Hi guys, welcome back to Hairdryer Treatment. We are smiling, Soph and Meg are back and smiling. I did say on my tweet beforehand, let's hope that we are. Meg, I'm going to get straight into it. How buzzing are you with that?
Mate, honestly, you came on and I was just sat here waiting. Honestly, that the second that whistle went, I literally sat here and I was like, right, I'm waiting for Sophie to appear with just a smile on my face. You know what I'm gonna say. You know that I'm gonna sit here and say my number 6. Just, I'm not gonna lie, that first half I was after the first 5 minutes I thought, Jesus Christ, what are we doing? And I put out that, Pogba needed to come on the pitch, and boy did he come on the pitch.
It did. What an impact. What an impact. The little shimmy that he did before the goal made it look easy, didn't he? But just his general play, he looked hungry. Even before he came on, he had that look on his face and you thought Pogba means business tonight. Like Pogba, you can just see it in his face. He was focused. He came on. And I saw, obviously, Savage was saying what's he going to do from that left-hand side? He's not going to make an impact. And literally seconds later, he goes and scores a goal. Commentators cursed at his best. But you're right, Meg. That first half, obviously, I thought we were sloppy. We were poor. We barely put 3 passes together. It was shocking at times. Second half, though, we've got to give Ollie credit. Firstly, for the Pogba change, whether it was forced or not, the fact that he went with Pogba on that left-hand side, it paid off. And secondly, for the change in attitude, second half, we just looked more up for it, didn't we, Meg?
A complete game of two halves, wasn't it, really? Because that first half, it was just poor all over the pitch, the passing, the lack of enthusiasm almost. And maybe that was half the game plan, just stay in the game till half time at least. Because if he hasn't put Pogba on to start, I presume that's because he didn't have 90 minutes in his legs. So if you're saying, you know what, just stay in the game for the first half. Just go out there and make sure that they don't score. And okay, I don't think Ollie probably expected us to be that poor in terms of our passing. I think Milan pressed so highly in that first half. They were on top of us. They didn't give us time with the ball. They forced us into errors. When we had got the ball, honestly, they closed down the options so well. The way that they pressed in shape. Just didn't allow us to get out from the back. The way that they moved across the pitch forced us into mistakes, into going to one direction down the side of the pitch, and it was just not good enough. But perhaps that like I said, perhaps that is the game plan. Get to half time, and I was sitting there thinking, is it Fred or McTominay that's coming off? Like Fred or McTominay, Rashford. I was like, what?
This is ankle, apparently, isn't it?
Yeah, but do you know what? If it was forced or not, what a move. 2 minutes in. Just it had to be Pogba. It had to be Pogba.
It did have to be Pogba. Connor says, can't be with the shirts on the wall. You're just in my head soon. I did think, because obviously I got the Cavani shirt and this is the Martial one. The Cavani is the women's shirt. So I did think when I wore this, I thought I'm going to blend in a little bit. But yeah, you can just about see me. I'm smiling. I'm smiling. I'm happy. I'm absolutely buzzing with that because I was really nervous going into that game, and particularly obviously when the game started, especially the fact that we weren't playing too well. It's hard. I had those feelings, those horrible feelings where you think this is just not going to be our night. But credit to Ollie, Pogba, what an influence he had coming on as well. Another player that I thought did really well was Fred. Had an impact in the goal, obviously, the little inception, but his tenacity in there, the energy that he brings in there. And I know we criticise him on the ball, but that tenacity, Meg, it's rare that you have a player like him in the middle. It just doesn't stop.
Yeah, but I am going to have to say that he was poor first half. He came out a different player in that second half. I don't know what, he had a rocket up his arse at half time. I don't know what it was. But I don't think for me it could have got much worse into that first 45 minutes. I felt like he tried, but his efforts were in vain because he was poor in terms of quality.
Erratic, yeah.
But then second half, defensively, again, we talked about him doing the dog's work in the middle of the pitch. Like you said, had an influence in the goal. His passing was much better. He was running with the ball. He was tackling at the correct times to tackle. He did give some free kicks towards the end of the game, but higher up the pitch. He wasn't doing them around the edge of the box. Completely different player than that first 45-minute player that we saw. Because honestly, we'll just forget about that bit. We'll let him have a pass on that bit. But Yeah.
No, I agree. I think
second
half it was quality. I thought, to be fair, second half you can't fault the attitudes of the players. You saw even at the end, Dan James. I know a lot of people criticise him, but he worked his absolute socks off tonight. He did not stop running. Was constantly up and down that wing. And to be honest with you, even though he didn't have his best game, you'd have to say he was effective in the sense that positionally he did very well, limited them going forwards on that left hand side. I think James deserves credit. I really do. And I know on the ball it can be frustrating. Early on, Meg, I'll be honest, first 15 minutes, I thought we started quite sharp. James had a few crosses that were slightly behind Rashford, one slightly behind Greenwood. And I thought, oh, you know what, this is a positive start here. And then I don't know what happened. AC Milan just seems to take over. But luckily, second half we came out and we improved and we got the win. And it's a great win in the end. Obviously, into the next round. Cannot say the same for Spurs, by the way. I'm just going to get that in there. What on earth has happened to Spurs? Like, absolutely woeful. But I'm buzzing. I really am, because this was a game, we said this week is massive. Obviously, Leicester at the weekend as well in the FA Cup. This game was massive for us. And to win it, obviously kept another clean sheet as well. We need to get that in there, because I know, Meg, you're a centre-back and you want me to touch on that. But the defence was solid, weren't they? And Henderson, yet again, quality. I thought he was superb. Obviously, first game we criticised saying he could have done better for the goal, but made a great save from Zlatan. I thought he's just really commanding at the back. And for me, he deserves to be starting right now.
Yeah, I'm glad that I was given him the opportunity, obviously, with De Gea coming back in, and he's kept his shirt. And like you said, that mistake in the last game, I didn't want that to be the costly error for us, because I think Henderson will have known that he did wrong doing that he went for the fantastic save, and it should have just been very, very simple for him. But tonight, dead commanding. I think he gives confidence to the defenders. Lindelof, I want to mention as well, because I think he played superbly. Some excellent clearances, tackles. You know, one of those ones where you're half and half, whether you're clearing it and tackling it. And just I think just for Henderson, he's earned his right now, and whether that continues or whether it doesn't, he should still be taking confidence from all these performances that he's putting in.
Definitely England number one, in my opinion. Obviously, we've seen the squad today. Henderson should be up there for me. Thank you so much for the super chat. I always try and say this, I'm going to have another go. Kanuna Kainen, I hope that's right. Solid outing. Always knew Milan were no pushovers, especially as their Serie A leaders. Give all the players a 7.5. We'll get onto the ratings in a minute, but definitely a solid outing. Away form continues. Lloyd, thank you so much for the super chat. Really appreciate it. One thing to take away from tonight is how much we've missed Pogba. The whole team performed better with him on the pitch. Meg, do you want to talk about that point?
Yeah, honestly, so smug about this whole Pogba situation, because I think if you have been here and with us for a while, you will know that I am a huge Pogba fan. I just honestly think we should be doing everything that we can possible to be keeping this player at our team, because he is an incredible talent. Josh, there was a comment that Josh put in the chat about the way he plucked a ball out of the middle of the air. The whole goal, the way that he dummied it, and that little fake shot to start with, moved them all out of the way, dinked it over the keeper. But I just think, the way that he plays, he doesn't show up. He doesn't show up some games, and I'm not going to sit here and say that he is the most consistent player you've ever seen. But when he turns up, when you need him to turn up, it took him 2 minutes. 2 minutes. I'm smug. Yeah. Smug.
You know what I will say, though? From a Pogba critic, as you probably say I am, he needs to keep that consistency up now. Obviously, he's been injured, so we obviously give him his due. He's got to work his way back in. But what an impact tonight. He's shown, obviously, how important he is to us. Alex, thank you so much for the super chat. He says it was noticeable how much better we were on the ball going forward with Pogba on the pitch. Also, a great stop by Henderson to deny Zlatan, exactly. But yeah, Pogba, we've seen his impact. We've seen how good of a player he is. We know his ability. We just need to see that consistently, don't we, Meg? But again, consistently, I think we need to improve as well. We can't keep coming out first half and playing like we did today. We've got to start. Well, to be fair, we did start quick, but we can't just play in phases, can we? We need to control a game. Even towards the end, I thought we were so open. I like the fact that we were looking dangerous and trying to get another goal, but going the other way, I was having a bit of a heart attack. I can't lie. We were so open at the end. I think we do need to learn to control that game a bit more. But overall, Meg, I'm absolutely buzzing. Someone said in that super chat, Justin Lay, 7.5s all around. Who would you say was your standout tonight?
Listen, if Pogba had played for 90 minutes the way that he played for 45 minutes, 100% I'd be saying that Pogba gets man of the match. because, like I said, he came on, he's influenced the game massively,
Yeah.
got the goal, but he did only play 45 minutes. I do think Henderson did really well. I want to mention Lindelof, like I said, because I think he played superbly. I think, who else did I think played well? Fred's second half.
Yeah.
Because,
like
I said, the first half's terrible. All second half performances, I just want them to be doing that for 90 minutes. And I think we went through that spell, start of the season almost, where when we were really slow getting, at the start of games, and we said like it takes them to score a goal for us to like be part of the game and wake ourselves up. I don't want to fall back into that trap. Now, like, I'm going to sit here and say, I hope that was Ollie's game plan, that he said to them, stay in it as long as possible for 45 minutes, and then second half, that's when we go out and get our goal. Because as soon as we scored, obviously that means AC Milan have got to go for it.
It opened up a bit,
Yeah, so it's like not when do you score, but when do you kind of really start pushing on to go and get that goal?
Yeah.
I'm just hoping that it was the whole part of the game.
Thank you so much for the contributions. As United are trying to get Jason Park to persuade Son to sign for us. With way more ambition than an ailing Spurs, deserves better. Look, obviously, we're going to talk about United and the great win tonight, but I want to touch on Spurs. Harry Kane, Meg, if he wants to win trophies, look at the career he's had, the amount of goals he's scored. Surely in his mind now he must be thinking, I need to move. He can't achieve what he's done on a personal level and not get a trophy, can he? Surely for his career he needs to move. And would you like him at United?
I think when you're Harry Kane and you've got you really have now got to weigh up whether you want the personal satisfaction of being a top talent, because he's an incredible footballer, he's an incredible striker, in a team that probably won't go on to win great things.
Yeah.
Or do you go to a team where you might not be number one? And I'm not saying Harry Kane wouldn't be the number one striker, but in terms of like ego and name on the pitch, but actually go and win things. And he obviously believed that Spurs would go on and win things. They should be winning things. They should do. They've got a top manager. They've got top players, but they haven't got quite that quality all round to go on and win things.
It must be frustrating.
If Harry Kane wants to come to Man United, I'm not going to say no though.
I'm exactly the same. Alex, thank you again for the contribution. It says too soon to say that Maguire is now looking class. Maguire, how did you think Maguire looked tonight? I thought he looked solid. Lindelof for me was the standout out of the two, but I thought Maguire had a decent game as well.
Yeah, I don't think he had a bad game. His heading ability is to be questioned. Honestly, I believe that we bought him after the Euros because he was meant to be fantastic. He was meant to be this. We saw how well that he played in those games, and I thought we're coming to Manchester United, like we've gone all out for him, and we're going to have so many corners, and Harry Maguire's going to bag loads of goals. I was wrong.
We're all wrong.
I mean, I'm still waiting for him to prove me on this heading ability.
Yeah, George says our biggest issue is that our team can't pass the ball. Well, in that first half in particular, don't know about you, Meg, I was pulling my hair out. We couldn't put 3 passes together. We literally struggled to keep the ball. Yes, AC Milan pressed us, but at times there was unforced errors as well, miscontrolling the ball, overheating, underheating the pass. We've got to be much better on the ball, and I do agree. McTominay and Fred, I think, were very poor. We've already mentioned Fred and how erratic he's on the ball. Fantastic at winning it back, but so quick to give it away because he almost tries the impossible pass at times. But credit, like I said, to Ollie, credit to the team. Came out second half. I thought we were much improved. Bruno Fernandes, and you all know I love Bruno Fernandes. First half, I thought he was absolutely awful. Second half again, I thought he came out and he had a much better game. It wasn't one of his better games, but he improved. And I do think, obviously, we've seen the whole debate about Ollie in, Ollie out. You see it on Twitter every single day, and I'm sick of seeing that. I just want people to hold their hands up and say, you know what, half-time today, everyone was stressing. Everyone thought, you know what, this isn't looking good. We've come away with a win. The change that Ollie made was to put Pogba on. Within 2 minutes, did you say he scored? You've got to give him credit, Meg. Whether you like Ollie or not, whether you're Ollie in or Ollie out, he deserves credit tonight.
Definitely, like I said, whether it was a forced error, a forced change, you could have moved Pogba into the middle, and he didn't, and changed formation. He put him on that left-hand side.
Yeah.
And he did a job for him there. He obviously did it very well as well. But yeah, for Ollie, he didn't make any changes throughout that second half. I don't think he really could have. I don't really know. You know, when it's very, very close in that last 10 minutes, I mean, I was nervous before the game, but that last 10 minutes then turned into 15 minutes with the 5 minutes extra time. Yeah. I was fretting. I was just sat there like counting these minutes down. You know, when you sit and you watch football like this, I don't know who I was hiding from, but I was just sat there like, don't let them score, don't let them score, don't let them score. But yeah, credit to Ollie.
Definitely credit to Ollie. Thank you so much, Doug, for the super chat. Doug, I hope you're doing well. So Mourinho, school player manager in prison for tax evasion. Dynamo Zagreb got that manager in prison bench. Yeah. Who do you want in the next round? Let us know in the chat, guys. Who do you actually want in the next round?
I don't know.
I don't want to ask
right now, anyone.
Yeah, anyone. You got to be the best to win it anyway, haven't you? But I'm trying to think who else is left in it. I think Granada in it.
Prague left in.
Obviously Zagreb.
Arsenal.
Zagreb, to be fair, it's going to be no easy game. There's no easy game in this competition. You have to say there's no easy game. Arsenal obviously is still in there as well, which would be an interesting tie. But I don't think I want them quite yet. I'd like them a bit later on. If they're still in it, hopefully not. But Granada, I think. Georgia said Granada there. Granada, I think, is still in it. I'd probably say that tie I would fancy.
I don't think I'd want
Malaga, Villarreal.
I don't think I'd want Slavia Prague, only because they've had 2 English teams in the last 2 rounds and knocked them both out.
Yeah.
I don't want
them to go with this. Kanakuainen. I hope that's right.
We'll leave it for you.
You broke up, but it's still really hard. I do apologise, but I hope I did it right. So hard. Roma are sitting there as well. I'm like you, Meg. I'll take anybody. Obviously, the easiest tie possible would be nice. But man of the match for me, obviously, I've asked you. Mine, I think Lindelof was superb tonight. I really do. I think I'd probably give it to Lindelof. Thought he was solid at the back. Made some crucial interceptions. It's some of his runs as well. Even though I was thinking Lindelof, what are you doing that high up the pitch? Some of his runs today as well. He was purposeful on the ball. He looked positive. Tried to make stuff happen. Iceman for me stood out, and I think that's probably who would give man of the match to. But Pogba, like you say, Meg, if he played the full 90, to be fair, I'm still tempted to give Pogba purely because of the influence that he had on the game. But Lindelof for me was the most consistent on the pitch tonight, and that's why I'm going to give it to him. And obviously in the past, a lot of people are saying that Boye should start over him, so fair play to Lindelof. A lot of people were saying that Boye should start tonight being up against Zlatan. Lindelof, yet again, and every time we seem to say this about Lindelof, that we'd rather see Boye playing this game, and Lindelof starts, people moan. It seems to prove people wrong, Meg.
Yeah, I think, like you said, he had a really good game tonight. He was there when he needed to be there. The one thing that I didn't like, towards the end, he went on this mad run up to the top of the pitch, and I'm thinking, game management, just put yourself back into your position. Just don't, we've seen it before. Bar scored a goal against us in the Champions League because we all went gallivanting off and just left the defence wide open and just went, off you go. And it was just at the time where you're thinking, nerves are starting to settle in for fans because it's the last few minutes and you don't want to concede the very last minute goal and stuff like that. And I just wanted him to sit back. But Lindelof, tonight, when he was called upon, he was there. And that's the most important thing. Yeah,
completely agree. George, good evening to Ross. George said Dan James needs to hit the gym. He was pushed off the ball quite a lot tonight, Meg.
Lightweight.
He is a bit lightweight, definitely. So yeah, I agree with that. But again, like I've already mentioned, I thought he worked his absolute socks off. He was tireless, constantly doing positive runs, constantly working back as well, up and down the pitch. You can't fault that, definitely. But I do agree on the ball, especially with his physical strength. He does need to improve. Do you agree with Curtis saying that Pogba looked heavy? I thought Pogba when he came on, he looked, I don't know, not sharp, but he looked on it. Like I already said, he looked focused, he looked hungry, and got a goal. I think he was a player who came on wanting to prove a point, and he did that tonight. You could tell he's missed playing football. We've definitely missed him in the team. I wouldn't say he looked heavy. I just think obviously he has got to get that back to fitness, hence why he didn't start. Someone making me make a show for a form up, please. Yeah, someone please do that.
Soph can answer this question.
Hi, Soph and Meg. The Iceman was fantastic and my favourite centre back at the club. Do you ever do crazy runs from the back, Meg? Yes, she does. all the time. And all right, Meg, I'll just sit in CDM. I'll sit in for you.
Actually, when we played football together, my favourite line on the pitch was, "Sophie, you there? Sophie, I'm going, Soph. You stay there." And I just go, and I'm like, "See you later." I'm off on my adventures up the pitch.
And then she'd go and score like a banging header as well and just shut me up, basically. That's normally what happened. Pogba's the only midfielder that can carry the ball in this team. Some of his driving runs.
The strength.
At times I'm thinking, just go on, just try and get the ball off him. I dare you, because he's got 3 or 4 players around him, and he's just so strong on the ball. And he just gives us that bit extra, doesn't he? That when we lack a bit of creativity, Pogba is the player that we have been missing. But like I say, he's just got to keep it up. He's got to be consistent. Shane says McFred is done. It does feel limited defensively. I think we feel very solid with McFred, but I feel like we sacrificed too much going forward to make with that. Do you agree with that? With them two in the midfield?
Yeah, I think it's it's a nice security blanket to have, because I think they both sit on that same line, don't they? I do think McTominay is more of a box to box than Fred, who sits a little bit deeper. But for me, you need a player like Pogba in there to just break it up a little bit more. Like they said, the way Pogba carries the ball up the pitch, you can't get close to him. He just makes it look so easy. Honestly, I can't stop smiling when we mention his name tonight, because there is so much hate around this player at our club, and the fan base is so divided on him that it's a bit like the whole Ollie situation. You see it all the time. Like, something will go online and it'll just be like, "Get Pogba out of the club. We don't want him. We don't want to be here." Yet, for me, like, we need him in this team. We don't have anyone else like him. If we had a replacement for him that you can see up and coming, that's fine. But we don't have the same characteristics in Pogba as we do with anybody else. We would really, really miss him, I think, if he left. By the way, I am loving all these. I can see them all. There's Magdini coming up. Magdinia.
I'm sticking with Maguire. All these glamorous names, and I'm like, Maguire.
And that's the one that's bloody stuck.
Always the way, it always happens. The Hayes says, yes, like McTominay, future captain, him and Fred are just not creative. McTominay's run at the end, by the way, I celebrated that just as much as the goal, I think, when he did that run down the line and won the free kick. Do you agree with that, Meg? Can you see McTominay being a future captain at United?
I think he's definitely got leadership qualities in him. And I think the whole, morale of Manchester United runs through a player like McTominay. I think he's fully invested in this Manchester United kind of essence of the essence of Manchester United. He's got it. When a player when they've just got it. And who knows? Because how old's Sin? How old's Maguire? If we continue to have Maguire and we stay with him, I don't know. But I do kind of see why people would say that he would be captain.
I like the idea of it, to be honest. I'm a big McTominay fan. I've said it many a time. I agree that him and Fred in the midfield, we do lack that creativity, but I love his driving runs through midfield, McTominay. I just love him. He's United through and through. I agree. He's got that leadership. You can tell he loves playing for United. And I think you always need a player like that in your club. He's not the most glamorous of players, but it's just an important player for us. And I think when he doesn't play, I do think we miss him in that middle, that desire and that fight in the middle. And he's quite a big, to be fair, he's quite a big lad as well. He's quite physical, tall in there as well. And I do think we miss his presence when he doesn't play. So I'm a big McTominay fan, and I can see that in the future, definitely. Van der Beek should have come on for Fred. I think if we didn't score, I do think we would have seen Donny tonight, if I'm honest. I think, like I say, we were lacking that creativity. I think he would have come on, but
I don't know. Ollie, too tight. And especially how the first half was, it was very, very cagey, that first half. I think we had a really good first 15 minutes or so. And then we just kind of decided that, Milan really stepped up, to be fair. And like I said, I think they actually forced us into so many mistakes. I don't think we were very good, but I think the way they defended was very good. And then I think the last kind of, after we scored, towards the last 15 to 10 minutes, that they're going to have to come at you, because they have to go and score. And I just think it was too risky to make any subs.
I agree. Shane, thank you so much. Just like and subscribe, people. Please, if you haven't already liked the video, please hit that like button. And obviously, for anyone who hit the sub button as well, we are so close to 15k. I can't wait to stop saying that. We're so close to 15k. Please, guys, please keep supporting us. We're getting there, Meg. We are getting there. Thank you to everyone, obviously, who tunes into the chat. Obviously, our channel is nothing about you guys, and it's all about your opinion. We're all just fans enjoying a United win, and hopefully we'll enjoy a United win at the weekend as well. Leicester coming up, Meg. After tonight, do you think we should be taking a lot of confidence going into that one? But at the same time, we need to be cautious that we can't keep coming out in the first half and performing as well as that, can we?
I think we should take confidence. I think we made what should have been, over 2 legs. We made it into a 1 leg in the end because it was going to be decided tonight. Because of the draw in the first leg, after we'd gone and won the first leg 4-0. Tonight might not have been as important, but we took it to a 1-game situation and we've won it and we've done what we needed to do. And on Sunday, it's a 1-game situation. It's not, we're not going to go into a second leg about this. We need to take confidence that we will put ourselves under pressure tonight. We had to go and do a job and we did it. And on Sunday, we've got that 90 minutes and we've got to do the job in 90 minutes. And I think, how we spoke about like last season where we, in the semis and we didn't get through the semi-finals. We've got, every time we do this where we put ourselves in a 1-game situation, we have to take confidence and say, right, we did it. We've done it in a 90 minutes. We can do it again on Sunday.
Definitely. Shane says Luke Shaw looked great again, deserves this England team. I've put this comment up. Firstly, I agree. I think Luke Shaw was great again, but the England squad, what's your thoughts on Wan-Bissaka not making it?
Well, neither did Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now, the pair of them are probably, the 2 of the biggest names in terms of right-back defending in the Premier League at the moment. I know yeah, and Kyle Walker's, for me, is coming towards the end in terms of international duty. Trippier, obviously, isn't playing in the Prem, so what I'm talking about is just Premier League players. So yeah, I was shocked by the Wan-Bissaka one a little bit, but there is a lot of competition for it as well. But I do think he has done really well.
When you see players like Eric Diabolical making it into the team, I know he's a different position, but if a player is having a season as bad as Eric Dyer is making it, you kind of scratch your head and think, why on earth is Wan-Bissaka not getting near that team? And Trippier in above him as well.
Yeah, I think you've obviously looked at certain factors, and I think with Trippier and Walker, they've got a little bit more experience in these next couple of games for England. Reece James, although he's played a couple of times, hasn't he? Not quite got the full experience, so maybe he's balancing out the young and the old.
Maybe. Alex says, and thank you, Alex, for the contribution. He says, who do you think we will play against Leicester? I think Henderson. I think Henderson will keep his spot. Pogba should play. Obviously, whether he can play 2 games is just a short space of time of being injured. Cavani obviously is looking not going to be fit. Rashford looks like he could be out as well. Apparently, no Greenwood as well. Makes it very interesting.
Diallo?
You think we start Ahmad in the FA Cup? I would like to see it. I'm not looking at it. I would like to see it.
We are, options-wise, we are to the bare bones, aren't we? And I think a player like that, Diallo, because of him not got much game time at the moment, probably will come and work very hard for you.
Donny, maybe?
I don't see him as not playing as a 9 or a 10.
Pogba was a false nine at some point tonight as well. New role for him. Maybe we'll go Pogba as a false nine. Who knows?
Just throw it out there and just
I think we need to
confuse
see.
everyone.
We need to see injuries, I think. Oh, no. Sorry, George Cole was on about Greenwood. I thought he was going to say Greenwood was injured then after the game. I thought we missed something. No, luckily he's not. He's just not in the English squad. So Greenwood is available. I was genuinely thinking, I'm not who we're going to play at top. So we say Greenwood's there. Dan James, you think will be there amongst it as well. Maybe Pogba playing as part of that front three. Who knows? Ahmad obviously is a possibility as well. Donny's back in. I think Boy could come back into the side as well, being as though Lindelof's played tonight and played so well tonight. Boy could possibly come in. Teller's obviously is an option. We've got players who can come in, but I think for me, it's how tired the players are feeling after tonight. Obviously, they've worked hard tonight, especially in that second half. It was a tough ask. We got the job done, like you say, Meg. It's time to rest and recuperate and see who's fit, ready for obviously the weekend. If Pogba's fit for me, James just said it, for me, if he's fit, he has to start. After how he's performed tonight, Pogba has to start. It'll be interesting to see actually if Ollie does put him straight in. But Meg, I'm not going to sit here and say we're going to go for every single player rating. After the first half, I think we'd be grading most players on a 45 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
So I think we should do an average.
Those two, isn't it?
I think we should do an average for the players, and then maybe choose our standout one. So we've already said Paul Pogba's the standout. 8 to 10, what do you give Paul Pogba today for that 45 minutes that we saw?
A 9.
He comes on and scores.
He comes on and scores. There was a little one as well. Just, he's so cheeky with it. The ball came out over him. It was running out for a throw in, and he just put his body in between him, the player, and the ball, and kind of fake went to touch it, and just almost did a step over in the middle of around the world in the middle of the air, and just let it go out. I was laughing because I was like, if Maguire tried to do that, he'd probably fall over, or he'd kick the ball, or he'd probably give an own goal away or something. I don't know. But Pogba just it's so easy for him. Pogba, I'd probably give him a 9.
9. Doug, thank you so much for the contribution. He says Wan-Bissaka will play for Democratic Republic of Congo, and you can't blame him. To be fair, if that does happen.
How long really is your career? Not that very long.
Exactly.
In terms of international games, you have so little of them compared to when you play domestically. Yeah. That if you're not going to play for England, then Mikel Antonio, he's done it this week. He's gone to Jamaica. He's pledged his allegiance to Jamaica, and I just think, for players, when you play football, you just don't have that long. It seems like forever, and if it is that, it is forever because that guy's just an absolute joke of an athlete. But you just don't have that long, and especially internationally. So fair enough if he does go and play for them.
Yeah, exactly. You can't blame him. Cannot blame him. Carly said Pogba a 9, then that must mean that Lindelof's a 9.5. Lindelof was my man of the match, so if you are going with Pogba with a 9, I'm going to have to put Lindelof as a 9.5. Clean sheet, Meg. Some vital clearances. Really positive runs up the pitch as well with the ball. I thought he had a solid game tonight. For me, Lindelof is my man of the match. Would you agree with that, Lindelof, or are you going to give it Pogba?
I agree. I agree that he played very, very well. I do agree that he played very well, and he played for the 90 minutes. But Pogba played so well as well. Lindelof did superbly though. Like I said, his clearances, interceptions, just was there at the right time. I would match them. I would say they're both 9.
I've got 9s. I'll settle for a match. This is Alex's.
You can go for 9.5. If you want to give him a 9, I'll go for 2 9s.
No, I'm happy with 2 9s. I was just wondering if you'd push one more than the other. I was just checking. I was just clarifying that, mate. Alex says Henderson in goal. Teller's left back. Boye Maguire. Wan-Bissaka right back. Matic with Pogba and Donny. Ahmad, Greenwood and James. I would be happy with that team against Leicester, to be honest with you. I would be happy with that. Sure. Obviously, he's been taking it.
Drops Bruno, but I don't think Bruno had a great game tonight.
No, he didn't. Especially in that first half.
My dad was messaging me throughout the game, and he at one point was like, "I'm physically counting the mistakes that Bruno does in this first half." He was livid with him, but I just don't think it. Like I said, I think they forced us into so many errors in that first half, but. Is it because he's tired? We have relied on him so much. He's played so much football for us that is it because he's getting a little bit leggy? But do I think that the Leicester game is the right one to drop him for? No. Yeah. I think we need him as well.
It could be a case where we start with our strongest lineup, like Bruno. Hopefully get a few early goals, and then Ollie can then bring that kind of player off to rest him. But I do think you're right. I think he does look tired. Curly said he looks poor. George said looks terrible tonight as well. I do think that maybe it's the case that maybe it's a bit of burnout. He does need a little rest. Be interesting to see what Ollie does do with that, obviously with Donny being back as well. Alex says Pogba has to be man of the match. He did score the winning goal. His presence, he did transform the game. I have to agree with that. I just thought that Lindelof was solid for the entire game. Pogba, obviously, we were judging on 45 minutes. But look, poor Pogba was phenomenal when he came on. Quality goal. His hold-up play, as someone already mentioned, he played like multiple roles when he came on as well. His driving run through the middle, like, it was just incredible. He really did change the game. And I think he proved to everyone what we've been missing for the last few weeks, to be fair, that creativity in the middle, you have to say. Big up to that United way in the chat. I hope you are good. Thank you for tuning in. But I'm absolutely buzzing with that, Meg. I'm looking forward to see who we get in the draw. But going into this game, we felt nervous. I mean, obviously, we spoke on WhatsApp and stuff for the ladies in red. We felt nervous. And they were smiling. Like, what a good night to be a United fan. Not the best performance, but we'll definitely take the result.
Well, I did wonder whether we'd be sitting here smiling or crying after the game. And very, very happy to be sat here smiling.
Yeah, I'm buzzing. Absolutely buzzing. And obviously, we take that into the weekend. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Obviously, we appreciate every single one of you in the chat. If you haven't managed to read out your chat, we don't do it on purpose. Just drop a comment on the video afterwards. Me and Meg do check the comments, and we'll obviously give them a read and reply to you there. We are back tomorrow with Ladies in Red. I'll confirm tomorrow times and whatnot as well. But we are back, Ladies in Red, tomorrow on hair dry treatment. So I'm looking for that one, Friday night feels. And it's always better after a win as well. And I know the women are playing tomorrow night, Meg, as well. So obviously we can feedback on that.
I was literally just about to say one more thing before we leave. Manchester United women tomorrow on BT Sport against Arsenal, 6:30.
Yeah,
I was trying to work out the time then because I was like 18:30, and I was like, maths.
I think it may be that we'll push. We normally do 8 o'clock. It might be that we do 9 o'clock to accommodate the women's game. I think that might be what we do tomorrow, as long as the ladies are free to do that. But yeah, United ladies tomorrow, Ladies in Red tomorrow as well. We've won tonight. Going into the weekend with plenty of smiles. Hopefully that continues as well after the Leicester game. That's all I'm saying. But thank you, everyone. Please hit that like button. Please hit that sub button as well. Meg, if you just shout out your socials so everyone can give you a follow too.
You can find me at McCann with an underscore. And again, obviously on hair dry treatment. Into the quarters, guys. We did it. Christ almighty, we made it hard after that first 45 minutes. But into the quarters, into the hat for tomorrow. I take it.
I'll definitely take it. And it could be worse. I'm going to end it on this, but it could be worse. You could be a Tottenham fan. Good night, everyone. Keep smiling. Stay positive. And we're back tomorrow night. Take care.